So what is the Ansoff Matrix and how can you actually use it to grow your business? The Ansoff Matrix is one of the most important lessons that you study as an MBA in marketing. It's something that can help any entrepreneur or company organization to grow their sales. Hey everyone, NValkov here. In today's video, you're going to learn what exactly is the Ansoff Matrix and how you can use it to grow your business or the company that you work for. Before we get into that, please make sure you click that subscribe button, hit the notification bell. Also share this video with anyone that might find it useful. And don't forget to leave a comment down below and let me know if this is the first video that you're watching about the Ansoff Matrix. Type 1 in the comment section down below if that's the first video, and if it isn't, then just type 2 in the comment section down below. Alright, so the Ansoff Matrix is a system developed by a guy called Igor Ansoff during 1957, I think, and it's something that companies and marketers use even nowadays to grow their businesses. I'm going to draw it out here on this whiteboard. Now, all that sounds boring and a bit like total nonsense maybe, but I will explain everything and I will do my best to explain it in a way that actually is very easy for online entrepreneurs and people that haven't studied marketing to understand, and basically it will be, in an easy to understand way. Now, market penetration. So what does that mean? That basically means to sell more of the same product to the same people. And let me give you some examples. This, for example, is maybe you want to run a promotion or a sales campaign where you're basically trying to sell the same product to the same people. Another way to work on this one, and this is by far my favorite one and very easy to implement, is to actually create a affiliate program or referral program, partners program for your current product. So let's say that you've got some kind of a product, right? How can you sell more of this product without costing you too much money, spending too much money on, running advertising and that kind of stuff? Is you create a reward program, a partners program. You create a partners program and you let your previous clients, currently your partners, to sell your product to their friends, family, or anyone they meet on the street, and they find people that might be interested in it. So in this case, there is something for them. They will make money as well if they sell your stuff. Another way is to run special promotions, limited time offers, of this product. And this is something that most companies do, quite often, every now and then. For example, you run a Christmas offer, you run a spring offer, summer offer. Just go to Steam, for example, if you take, if you play games and that kind of stuff. In Steam, the company Steam, is running promotions like all the time, for different products, and when the season changes, right now they have their summer promotion where you can get different types of games really, really cheap. So that's exactly what they're doing. They're selling the same products that they already have in the store, but they're running a promotion and they're selling them cheaper so they can, make as much money as possible during this sales promotion. Another thing that you can do during the market penetration phase is that you can develop a new way to sell the same stuff. You can develop a new approach, new strategy to sell your products. This might include stuff like starting a YouTube channel, for example, or starting something new that will sell the exactly same product to the same people. So if you know that your audience that you've got on Facebook is also on YouTube, then you should definitely consider starting a new strategy, creating a new strategy to sell the same stuff. So that's what market penetration is. It's selling the same product to the same people again, or selling the same product to the same people but approaching it in a different angle. All right. I also want to say that most people, let's talk briefly about diversification before we get there. Diversification is what is known as multiple streams of income. Oh, I'm not going to write this, but diversification basically is multiple streams of income. And a lot of people say, oh, you need to have multiple streams of income. You should not rely and put all your eggs in one basket and all that kind of stuff, which is absolutely true. But until you get there, well, there is a long way ahead before you get to multiple streams of income. And I will use myself as an example. When I started selling on Amazon and I somehow, managed to make it work, to be able, to pay my bills and that kind of stuff, I was thinking, oh, I shouldn't rely just on one income stream. I need to do so many other stuff. So I started a YouTube channel, I started a blog, I started so many other things. And none of them really worked properly. But in my case, it turned out to be a good decision because I used the time that selling on Amazon actually provided me with. So I had more time to spend on learning stuff. And I managed to learn skills that I now implement while I was selling on Amazon. Because when Amazon kicked me out, I basically lost everything overnight. But I had other skills and other even assets that I could use to, create something new. So in my case, it turned out to be a good decision, but it rarely is. Because you see, most of the people are still in this very early stage. Market penetration, there is so much money you can make from your current customers and from, just changing the strategy, approaching the same thing in different angles. And every time when you move from here to here to here to here, the risk goes up. So in every single business model, everything that you want to get involved with, you need to pay attention to two things. And the first one is the reward. And that basically is profit margins, how much money you're making from performing this business activity. And the second one is the risk involved. Yeah. So that's why, for example, let's take selling on Amazon as a business model. So if selling on Amazon is your business, the risk that is involved into that is high because you need to invest a lot of money in products and, making your patents and copywriting and all that, trademarks and all that kind of stuff. Because it's very easy, at least that's what I hear, because I don't really know, but people say that if you have a private label brand, it's easy to get hijacked and all that kind of stuff. So you need to measure the risk reward thing. Is the risk worth it? No, is the reward worth it to take the risk? And with an Amazon business where the profit margins might be decent if you're doing private labeling, if you're doing online arbitrage, they're kind of crap. And so with online arbitrage, you invest, let's say, $100 to make, no, not 100. Let's say you invest $30, $40 to make $3, $4, $5, $6 back. And the risk is just huge when you're doing all of that. So it basically isn't really worth it, guys. Hope that makes sense. Now, we're done with market penetration. So what is the next step? Should you start developing a new product or start upgrading your current product and repackaging it to make it new, or should you just go and look for another different type of audience that you can sell the same product to? So let's say that from market penetration, and you have done all of that and you have kind of reached your potential, you can't grow the sales anymore, then you decide, well, we need to do something about it. And you go into product development. What product development is basically you upgrading your products and branding them as new and repackaging them, for example. Yeah? And this is something that tech companies are doing like every single year. Just look at Apple. Every single year they're releasing a new phone. And in most cases, the phone is actually pretty much the same like the phone in the last few years. But they're just upgrading it. Upgrade. So it has a better camera, it has, you know, wireless charging, it has a glass on the back and all that kind of stuff. So they upgrade the product, they release it as new. It's pretty much the same product, guys. They've got the technology ready years before they actually release it. So the new camera is actually not new. They're just in this. They're just doing this product development part where they upgrade the product and they release it as new. They repackage it. They repackage the product and they release it as new. So that's what the product development part is. So how can you use that for your business? Well, you can. Let's say, for example, that you're selling an online course, and every single year you can repackage your course and say the 2019 edition, 2020 edition, 2021 edition, and all that kind of stuff. So every single year you can be doing a big product launch at the same time of the year. Just follow Apple, whatever Apple is doing. So Apple, you know, doing a product launch every single September. And they're announcing their new phones, and they're upgraded phones, they're new, they're repackaged, and they sell them again. So you can do that as well, depending from what you do, really. Now, if you're a service provider, that's not really going to work, I think, but if you are selling online courses or physical products or anything like that, this could work. So you have reached the maximum in market penetration, and then you decide, well, now it's time for us to, you know, release a new product. Most people start releasing product after product after product without actually reaching the full potential in the first phase. Now then, let's say you want to move to a new market. You're releasing new products, everything is going well, and now it's time for you to move to new market. So what is that? Well, that basically means you finding more people, doing marketing research, finding more people that might use your product, that might find your product really helpful. And for example, let's say that you've got an online course, where what you can do is if people in another country will find your course very helpful, so you know that they need something like the product or the service that you've got, you can go to a new market. New market can be a new country, new town, and that kind of stuff. But we live in a digital era, obviously. So if you are selling digital products online, this might actually mean scaling up your advertising, targeting new countries. For example, if you've been targeting the top 5 countries, you know, the English-speaking countries, Australia, New Zealand, America, the UK, and that's it, then what you can do is you can start targeting Germany, for example. You can start targeting the Netherlands, you know, mainland Europe. You can start targeting whatever you want to target, right? And so we're going to use Apple as an example again. So what Apple will do is they would actually go to China. And this is like, China is where all the big tech companies, everyone's fighting for China, because the Chinese, it's not what it used to be 20, 30 years ago. They now have more buying power and they're a stronger economy, and it's just so many of them that the one that dominates the Chinese market is the one that's going to make the most money. Because, for example, in America, I think there are about 100 million Apple iPhone users, while in China it's 280 million, okay? So obviously it depends from their profit margins, but yeah, market development is going to a new market and trying to take over it. Or another thing is, if you have been let's say you have been targeting a specific group of people with your advertisement, for example, based on age or something, you can start targeting, you know, a different type of age. So you're gonna target different market segmentation. And just another example for market development is, for example, when a company like Tesco goes to America and they try to, you know, they rebrand themselves, they're not called Tesco and all that kind of stuff. And as we probably all know, Tesco has failed in America. So their market development plan didn't actually work, they failed, and as the risk goes up when you're moving across these four quadrants, when you move across these four quadrants, the risk goes up. So when Tesco, they have done their market penetration thing, so they dominate the UK market, they're releasing new products all the time and all that kind of stuff, and then they decide, well, we need to develop a new market, so we're gonna go to America and try and take over and gain market share in America. What's happened is they rebranded themselves, they use other names and all that kind of stuff, but it actually didn't work. So they lost a lot of money. It was the wrong move, and they lost a lot of money. So this is what Tesco's attempt to go into America, it was a new market development. All right. And now the last one is diversification. And this is when a company starts to do something completely different. Okay. So product development is when they create new products, right? So for example, Apple, a computer company, built the iPod, that's product development. Then they've built, you know, the iPhone, the earpods, and all these kinds of stuff. These are actually product development. And then all these products that they create, every single year they repackage them, upgrade them, and release them again. And market development is going for a completely new market. And the example was Tesco going to America. And then diversification is when you do something completely different, something that you've never done before. For example, Apple car. If Apple want to release a car, this is diversification. They're doing something that have nothing to do with them, something completely new. Now, this is a very, very risky move for companies in most cases, because they're trying to do something that they've never done before, something that they're not famous with. It's a risky move. And for you as an entrepreneur, this is basically the multiple streams of income. So do you see what path you need to take until you get to multiple streams of income? You don't just make $1,000 per month and go into another stream of income, because you don't even have one proper stream of income. The thing that you're doing can go such a long way that it needs to generate millions and millions and millions until you go and try to... Well, that's a bit pathetic, isn't it? So the rest of the video is actually corrupted, so there was nothing I could do, so I'm just shooting this one, and I'm basically going to say just thank you for watching this video. Make sure you subscribe, hit the notification bell, leave a comment down below, let me know if this was actually useful, and guys, yeah, I'll see you in the next one. Sorry about that, but technology. Cheers, bye.